Hey Techno Studs, let's tackle another issue on the network. I've introduced another issue, so let's go through the troubleshooting steps to figure out what's going on. Similar to my last video, I'm gonna jump onto switch 1 and we're gonna try to ping 8.8.8.8. And as you would guess, that we're not successful. So we have an issue on our network. So the next thing that I'm going to try to ping is that router 2. So if I try to ping 10.240.2.1, hit enter, we are successful with that. So we know we have at least some basic connectivity. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on router 2 because that's the pivotal spot to a lot of our connectivity on here. Actually, one other thing that I would want to do with this is just check to see, is it some sort of routing issue? And so I'm going to do a show IP route and look for the default route, which is the one that I would expect it to be. So we are good to go there. So next I'll jump onto that router 2 and we will take a look at first of all, what we could do is see just if we have connectivity to the outside world. So I can ping 8.8.8.8 from there. So I have connectivity to this router and from the router to the rest of the world, my routing is correctly set up. So must be something wrong with the NAT. I can do that show IP NAT translation and see that I do have some translation that's set up here, that it is translating some of this information. But it didn't translate that when I tried to ping 8.8.8.8. So let's see what's going on with that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a show run on here and we'll jump down to the NAT statements. And when I look at the NAT statements here, I have IP NAT inside source list 1 interface fast Ethernet 00 overload. That all looks good. This has nothing to do with the one that we're looking at right now, so I don't need to worry about that. And then access LUN permit. Okay, now this is interesting. 10.2.0.0. and then a 0.0.255.255 for a wildcard mask. So that doesn't look correct. That's not the one that we entered in on here originally. So what I want to do is ask you, what would the results of this, what would the results be with this setup right here? So if you want to pause the video, you can pause the video and think about it, but I'll give the answer now. So what will happen with this is anything part of this 10.2.0.0 network will have access to it. So it's a 10.2.0.0/16 is essentially what this is, which is anything over on this other site right here, on this side of the network. So anything else within this network is really not going to be able to get out with the exception of router 2 just because it has an IP address as part of this network. So there you have it. So that's going to be what our issue is. To solve this, what I'm going to do is get into the global configuration mode. I'm going to do a no and then remove this ACL on here. So I'll do that. And then I'll copy it again. And we will want to open it up to a /8 and have all of the 10 network, 10.0.0.0. and hit enter here. Just a side note, I actually could add to this access list to include other networks as well if I wanted to specify each of the networks that are going to be allowed. What I mean by that is if I wanted a 1.0.0, so I could specify that too, and it would add that network to it. That's not what I'm going to do in this case. I'm just going to open it up to the 10 network. We're going to get more into access lists in one of the future modules. So we're just going to keep it simple as that. But let's see if we've fixed the issue now. I'm going to try to ping the 8.8.8.8. We are successful, so we have now successfully fixed this issue.